You've spent years building your US investment portfolio. Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab, Robinhood, E-Trade, hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe more, sitting in US brokerage accounts. You're moving back to India. You assume you can just leave it there. Here's the problem: most NRIs don't realize their broker has a plan for them the moment they become a non resident, and that plan is not on your side. Here's the landscape, and it splits into two tiers. Vanguard is the most aggressive of the accommodating brokers. They will close your account. You get a notice, usually 30 to 90 days, and after that, they liquidate your positions. Fidelity is more moderate. They'll often keep your account open but block new mutual fund purchases. And Schwab has a dedicated option. Schwab International, built specifically for non residents. But Robinhood and E-Trade are a different story entirely. Neither is built for non residents at all. Robinhood requires a US address and a social security number. It doesn't currently offer accounts to non residents, and by most accounts, forces a full sell off once it detects you've moved. E-Trade has a track record of closing non resident accounts outright and won't even open new ones. If you're using either of these, this is the one to plan around first. Your brokerage account is just one piece of a much bigger move. Hit subscribe. We're figuring out every step of the return home together. Now, here's where it gets complicated. Even if your broker lets you keep the account, your US mutual funds, that's a different story. Most US mutual funds do not allow non resident holders. The moment your address changes to India, you could be in violation of the fund's terms. What does that mean? Forced redemption. They sell your shares, potentially at the worst possible time, and you take the capital gains hit. If the market's down, you're locking in losses. If it's up, you're paying a massive tax bill you didn't plan for. And here's the kicker: many returning NRIs don't find out about this until the tax form shows up. So you've navigated the broker, you've checked your mutual funds. What about taxes? Here's the RNOR advantage again. If you qualify, your US capital gains during your RNOR period are not taxable in India. That's the window. But once RNOR ends, usually after year 2 or 3, India taxes your worldwide income, including every US stock sale, every dividend. Long term capital gains held over 24 months are taxed at a flat 12.5%. And here's something that surprises people: the 1.25 lakh rupees exemption you may know from Indian stocks does not apply here. Every rupee of long term gain on US stocks is taxable. Short term gains are taxed at your income slab rate, which could be 30% or more. The US will also want its share, but the US India DTAA gives you foreign tax credits, so you're not paying twice on the same dollar. The catch? You have to file correctly in both countries to claim those credits. Miss a form, and you're paying double tax. There's one form that solves a huge chunk of this headache: the W8BEN. It tells US brokers and the IRS, I am a resident of India. Tax me under the US India Treaty. Without it, your broker withholds the full 30% on your US income, dividends, certain interest, and more as the IRS default. With it, you claim treaty benefits. For most NRIs, that brings dividend withholding down to 25%, not the 15% many people assume. That lower rate only applies to companies holding 10% or more of the voting stock. File the W8BEN the moment you become an Indian resident. Send it to every US financial institution you have a relationship with: brokerage, bank, 401k provider, all of them. So here's your checklist before you leave. 1. Contact your broker, get it in writing. 2. Audit your mutual funds. 3. Consider Schwab International or Interactive Brokers. 4. File your W8BEN the day you move. 5. Map out your RNOR window and plan your largest sales during that tax-free period. Moving back to India is complicated enough. Your US investments shouldn't be another landmine. If this helped, hit subscribe. I release one part of your move, sorted like this every week. Drop a comment. Which broker do you use?